Thưa các anh chị và các quý vị tham gia buổi hội thảo sáng hôm nay, thì như diễn giả của chúng ta đã nhấn mạnh là để triển khai thực hiện được việc chuyển đổi số hóa một cách hiệu quả, và thì chúng ta rõ ràng có thể thấy là kỹ năng và kiến thức chuyên môn của cá nhân, của chính những đội ngũ nhân sự mà trực tiếp hành nghề đóng vai trò hết sức quan trọng. Như vậy thì trong phần trình bày tiếp theo thì tôi xin được giới thiệu là ông Ryan Yang sẽ chia sẻ cụ thể hơn về khung năng lực cốt lõi của kế toán quản trị trong thời đại số. Ông Ryan Yang hiện nay đang là Giám đốc phát triển đối tác khu vực Đông Nam Á của Hiệp hội Kế toán Quản trị Hoa Kỳ IMA. Ông đã có hơn 20 năm kinh nghiệm làm việc thực tiễn trong các tổ chức giáo dục và hiệp hội nghề nghiệp về kế toán và kinh doanh. Ông cũng là diễn giả cho nhiều hội thảo về giáo dục nghề nghiệp kế toán của IMA tổ chức trong khu vực Đông Nam Á. Và bây giờ thì xin trân trọng kính mời ông Ryan Yang. Hi Ryan, are you ready for your part?
Thank you. Give me a moment while I set up my screen. I'm so sorry, my screen hanged in the last minute. So sorry about that.
No worries. Trong lúc chờ đợi ông Ryan chuẩn bị cái phần slide chia sẻ của mình ấy, thì tôi xin được trân trọng giới thiệu lại về ba diễn giả tham gia buổi hội thảo ngày hôm nay để các chị có thể đặt câu hỏi cho các diễn giả ở trong phần cửa sổ chat. Diễn giả đầu tiên đã chia sẻ với chúng ta về làm thế nào để có thể làm thế nào để có thể thành công ở trong sự nghiệp kế toán tài chính ở thời đại mới. Đó là bà L'Oreal Jai. Bà hiện đang là giám đốc nghiên cứu về chuyển đổi tài chính và công nghệ kỹ thuật số của IMA. Diễn giả thứ hai vừa hoàn thành phần trình bày của mình về hiện đại hóa và quản trị dữ liệu. Đó là ông Tín Đặng, là giám đốc quốc gia của Just Analytics và cũng là giảng viên các bộ môn về dữ liệu trong chương trình đào tạo CMA tại Smart Train. Và diễn giả thứ ba của chương trình hôm nay đó là ông Ryan Yang, hiện đang là giám đốc phát triển đối tác khu vực Đông Nam Á của IMA.
Thanks for the wait and apologies for that. Hello, everyone. A great good morning or good afternoon and greetings from IMA. It is my pleasure to be here today at this joint webinar between IMA, Smart Train, and Just Analytics. My name is Ryan, and I look after the Southeast Asia region in terms of business development. So Vietnam is definitely one of my most favorite countries, and I look forward to visiting Vietnam to meet all of you once again. I'm based in Singapore, and today I will talk to you about the Management Accounting Core Competency Framework and skills required in the digital age. And I hope this session will be knowledgeable and informative to you.
So excuse me, Ryan, sorry to jump in, but can you please share the screen again, because I can see the notes, the tab notes on the other side. Ban tổ chức chúng tôi xin lỗi quý vị về sự trục trặc kỹ thuật này. Chúng tôi sẽ quay trở lại trong một ít phút thôi ạ. Và trong lúc chờ các diễn giả của chúng ta quay lại thì tôi xin nhắc lại một lần nữa là các anh các chị có thể, nếu như có bất cứ câu hỏi hoặc là thắc mắc gì về phần chia sẻ của các diễn giả nói trên, thì các anh chị vui lòng có thể đặt câu hỏi vào trong cửa sổ chat. Câu hỏi của các anh chị có thể được đặt bằng cả tiếng Việt hoặc là cả tiếng Anh. Vâng, và bây giờ thì tôi thấy phần màn hình đã sẵn sàng rồi ạ. Ryan, it's back to you.
Okay, great. Could you move the slides for me from this point onwards? Thank you so much. So as you can see from this, so the key part is to recognize the state of the world that we are in now, the current recurring message that you see globally these days. Will be what you see on the screen now. So you see a lot of such news and reports that tells about that puts digital transformation to the front. That CFOs are looking to ramp up automations during this pandemic, especially, and then. As you can see from the headline at the bottom, coronavirus, COVID-19 do and will speed up the use of robots to replace human workers. But these headlines is not something that you have to be too worried about, which I will share in the following slides. Also, I think going backwards, Ms. Laurel and Mr. Dang has also shared a lot of valuable information in the previous in their previous presentations, and already you have seen and you have already experienced the stakes that the stakes have all been already set. And then next slide, please. So here's the actual overview of the finance accounting trends. The skills gap will definitely continue to increase, as we go along. And the future of digital finance is intelligent automation, and transformation technology will create a new digital workplace with the emphasis on the learning worker. So if you explore further, you go online, you read the relevant reports, you will keep seeing this phrase, the learning worker, because that's essentially the mindset that we have to put ourselves into as accounting and finance or even business professionals or students. And in adopting the futuristic mindset, CFOs have now become the digital officers and the business leaders for tomorrow. Next, please. And today, I may ask, are you fit for the digital age? Ms. Laurel also asked in her slide the same question. So just to add on a little bit more, so new technologies will result in the elimination of many accounting finance accounting positions, and they also have the potential to create new ones. The key will be a shift from a financial reporting and from financial reporting and stewardship, and you are expected to become more of a business partner and a strategic enabler. And successful management accountants is expected to ensure that the organization perform better, especially in this current COVID pandemic climate. Next, please. And IMA is committed to keeping you relevant. Automation has been around for a long time, and as you heard from our other speakers today, the urgency to automate has never been greater. And relevancy, depends on competency and talent. So these are all the takeaway keywords that you will that you have and will hear a lot in today's entire session. And technology is secondary to people and processes. So you have to upskill in strategic management and data science. And as we recognize what is at stake from what you have heard today and what you're experiencing in your daily career or study lives, the relevance and influence in a very fast-moving digital age will continue to increase. Next, please. So just to share with you some key statistics, already in the previous presentations, you have seen some of this. So just to give you a little bit more context. So automation, again, a very a keyword that you will hear a lot these days. And here is something I can share with you that, finance and accounting jobs involving leadership and people management are most likely to survive the robot revolution. These jobs, that will likely survive a lot better includes or require the human skills of caring, connecting, and coaching, where finance managers and directors are among the finance functional roles with the lowest at 40% probability of being automated versus financial administrators and financial and accounting technicians who have the highest probability of automation, clocking in at around 56%. The hardest activities to automate, are things that requires or job roles or functions that require managing and developing people, where you can see the percentage on the screen, and decision making, planning, and creative work, where it's just 18% automation potential. Next. So to add on to that, the routine and value-added functions really determine which sectors are likely to be automated. So in some sectors, the majority of functional roles revolve around repetitive activities that, this word again, repetitive activities that lend themselves towards automation. And the sectors most likely to experience automation, as you can see on the left side of the screen, the service sector. So this is really, it occupies the top spots where 73% of these activities that workers in the service sector perform, these have high potential for automation. In the manufacturing industry and in the retailing industry, so these are the sectors. And in the finance sector on the right side, despite it not being one of the likely sectors to experience automation as much, so it still clocks in at a big percentage, especially for tasks that involves collation and processing and repetitive functions. Next, please. So today, according to our IMA survey, and Ms. Laurel has also shared earlier that IMA is always doing a lot of surveys with other very reputable organizations such as Deloitte, and we also have a salary survey with ACCA and such. So you can retrieve a lot of these surveys from the IMA website. So I invite you to go to the IMA website to find out more about the surveys that we have for your review. And according to the surveys that IMA has done, about 55% of organizations are moderately to largely data-centric. So the survey also says that 79% of respondents felt that automation was having an impact on their finance function. And that is a really, really high percentage that 79%. Next, please. So 13% of survey respondents felt that the organization staff, finance staff, was prepared for technological change. So only 13% felt that they were ready. And, so now that the stakes are set, and from what the statistics that I've shown you, so what are the steps and what are the things that you can do to try to safeguard yourself to be more future ready? Next, please. And that's the question I just asked. So, as technology is changing the way we live and the way we work, are you future ready? Next. So before we talk a bit more further about the CMA qualification, I would like to introduce to you the IMA Enhanced Management Accounting Competency Framework. So you can retrieve this, go to the IMA website, and you can search for this, and you can use this to map your current skills. So what skills do you need for what role in the company? So this is based on IMA's very regularly done survey with all our IMA members, which is something like 140,000 CEOs and CFO and C-suite level professionals globally. So it's with that survey, this framework is put together, for example, for individuals, whether you're a student, whether you're a working professional, you can use this framework to see, okay, I want to be in a CFO level, for example, in the next 10 years or 5 years. So what are the current skills that I'm lacking now? What are the skills that I need to acquire to achieve that position? For corporates, we work with a lot of reputable corporates around the world, such as Johnson & Johnson's, IBM, and Intel. So this framework is also built into many corporates and organizations where they use the framework to identify what skills they need to hire the right person. to get the right professional to come in and be ready. And for people or for staff that are not equipped with the skills they look for, they have a map or a framework here that they are able to plan, in terms of staff training and development. So this is a very useful management accounting competency framework that I will encourage all of you, during after this session, you can log on to try out and see where you stand and how you can get to where you want to be in the future. Next, please. So, becoming a US CMA. So I will take you through what is the US CMA. So for more than 40 years, the CMA has been a global benchmark for management accounting and financial professionals. So if you look at the curriculum, you will see that there are 12 core practice areas in management accounting. And CMA is earned through 2 very rigorous exams. I will share a little bit more about the exams in the following slides, and as well as satisfying work and education requirements. Next, please. So this is the exam structure for the CMA. So there is 2 parts, basically two parts to the exam. There's part 1 and part 2. Part 1 focuses on financial planning, performance, and analytics, while part 2 focuses on strategic financial management. So as you can see from the modules below, in the middle of the screen, these are the modules that are covered in part 1. On the right, these are the modules that are covered in part 2. So just by looking at the modules that you see here, just by the names of the titles, you can see that it is it is quite a complete set of competencies that CMAs can acquire. For example, technology and analytics on the left in part 1, the last one. So you can see that this is actually introduced. We update the curriculum, and this is a new module that was introduced in the early part of 2020. And inside technology and analytics, it really, if you read it further, you can get the curriculum or the breakdown of the curriculum or the learning outcomes of the curriculum through Smart Train or at the IMA website. You can see that the learning outcomes that CMA would get and acquire, the skills that they acquire through technology and analytics alone is really so relevant to today's digital age. So just to point you out, that's the one of interest that always I get inquiries and get questions from a lot of academics, a lot of universities, and a lot of corporates. So each exam is 4 hours long. You can take either part first. You can start with part 2, and later on, when you complete part 2, you can take on part 1, or you can take on part 1, then you move on to part 2. So each exam is 4 hours long. It's 100 multiple choice questions. That's 3 hours. And once you get through that, and if you pass that segment, you will move on to the final hour, which is the 2 30-minute essay questions. Next, please. So this is a lot to cover today, so we won't cover every single part of this. So typically, if you look at the colored columns, the domains, these are the 6 main or key domains that the CMA cover. And in the middle, you can see these are the competencies that a CMA will acquire. So just to overview this, the domains are strategic planning and performance, reporting and control, technology and analytics, business acumen and operations, leadership, and professional ethics and values. Again, you can get deeper information about all these competencies and the curriculum via IMA's website, or you can always write to me, or you can look for the Smart Train staff, and they will be able to help you with this. Next, please. So here are the main requirements to take up the CMA. So to be a CMA, so you need to complete the 2 exams that I mentioned earlier. So you need to have a bachelor's degree from accredited college or university in any major. So for example, the questions that we always get, the more frequent questions will be, oh, if I don't come from accounting and finance background, I don't have a degree or MBA in accounting and finance, can I also take on the CMA? So the answer is yes. So even if you are you come from an engineering degree, or you come from a mass communications degree or marketing degree, you can also take on the CMA. And you need to have 2 years of work experience to become a CMA. To call yourself a certified CMA. Students can do the CMA first, and you complete the CMA, then you go out later on to clock in your 2 years of work experience. You can do that. And you need to have an active membership in IMA. Next, please. So there are many ways, or a couple of ways, that you can study for the CMA. You can self-study, or you can study online. But my strong recommendation is to study face-to-face with trainers, because you have access to very experienced IMA approved trainers who have very strong knowledge on the CMAs. So these trainers are also there to guide and prepare you for the exams, and this experience and support that you will get is very valuable. Next, please. And in Vietnam, Smart Train is IMA's approved review course provider for the US CMA prep in Vietnam. So Smart Train is one of our longest valued partner in the whole region. And for many, many years, we have been working very closely with their management and academic staff to ensure the smooth delivery of their classes and the quality of the IMA approved teaching materials. I would highly recommend you that you speak to the IMA, to the Smart Train consultants, and they will be able to advise further on the CMA course. Just want to share some more photos. Next, please. So as you can see, these are some of the photos that we do together with and participate together with Smart Train, as well as the one you see on the right is we were participants together at the Vietnam Ministry of Finance and the VAA conference. Next, please. Yeah, and this is just some photos I love to share on graduation ceremonies that we do every year with Smart Train for the CMAs in Vietnam. Next. Here are some testimonials that I would love to share regarding on our CMAs in Vietnam. You can see Ms. Trinh is the Executive Vice President of Finance in California Fitness Group. Ms. Hang from Mercedes-Benz Vietnam, as well as Ms. Min at Jotun Paints Vietnam. So just a very quick scroll through. Next, please. Yeah, so you can see Mr. Lok on the right, and Ms. Hui from Jones Lang LaSalle, Vietnam. Next, please. Yeah, and just some more that, you know, from the region, from Australia on the left, and you have Philippines and Taiwan on the right. These are all our top CMAs in the region. Next, please. A couple of others from Singapore, from Philippines, from Ernst & Young, and others. So just to finish up, I think I have only 1 or 2 more slides to share. Next, please. Yeah, so as an IMA, the IMA membership and being a CMA, you have also access to a network of chapters. You are automatically part of a chapter in your country. So just in our region, these are the chapters that are still there are in our region, are set up in our region. The Australia and New Zealand chapter, Korean chapter, Philippines, Singapore, Taipei, Tokyo, and Vietnam. There is a chapter long established in Vietnam, and Western Japan. So this is just in our region. There are countless dozens and dozens or hundreds of chapters across the world, in the US, in the Middle East, in Europe, and such. So chapters is a very important tool. You basically have access to a network of professionals such as yourselves that you can always connect them connect to them in other regions for networking purposes. So just a story that I would love to share before we close this is that in the past we have CMA from Smart Train that completed the studies at Smart Train. This gentleman in Vietnam, so he connected to the other IMA chapter counterparts in Europe, and from there he was linked to various job opportunities. And today he is working in Germany in a MNC, and his whole family has since moved there. So that's the power of chapters, the networking, the side of it. So next, please. This is the final slide. And as an IMA member, you have access to all these resources. So from webinars to CPD courses, research articles, publications, skills, soft skills or leadership development opportunities and career resources and such. So this should be the end and the last slide. So next, please. Yes, so do connect with us. These are the links that you can follow us on. You can write to me, or you can always look for our great partner in Vietnam, Smart Train, and they will be able to advise you further on how to what you can do in terms of management accounting and to take up the CMA. Thank you so much, and I look forward to visiting Vietnam soon after the pandemic. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan, for your nice sharing.